you get kicked in the fucking face.
In the next bubble screen over here, let's throw curls.
What are the whys, right? What are the whys?
Bears Hour Live.
Here is what the Tape Never Lies Network means to me. Now, there's a lot of sites out there, a lot of fan sites and all that stuff, but there are few, if any, that matches the knowledge, the wisdom, and the charisma of the Tape Never Lies Network. It is what I rely upon each and every week to find out what's going on with our Chicago Bears. Listen, I like the Sick podcast. It's fine. Its host is okay. But for me, the money site is the Tape Never Lies Network. Watch it.
32 is the identity.
Yeah, you look at the tape. So as a coach, your resume is the tape.
Loses the football. Strip sack and
Bears Hour Live.
Give me some fucking
Bears Hour Live. We go online right after Bears games with your boys draft talking the smartest man alive. Yo. Bears Hour Live.
Son of a bitch, you better block.
Bears Hour Live. We go online right after Bears games with your boys draft talking the smartest man alive. Rant up with the true analysis you expect. Raw passion for the show.
You saw the growth in
Locked
Justin
in with real
Fields.
emotion and passion for every play. Coach Phil to bring that range, but then with facts by shade. Post game show like nothing else you're gonna hear. Some can try to copy, but a bucket's not sincere. Delivering the truth on what just happened to be clear. That's why we're on TV, so you can see it, not just hear. Hey, yo, with Draft Dr. Phil, you know it's always hit six. True to fundamentals, never gimmicks and tricks. Guess we're moving Soldier Field up to Arlington Heights. Mill out counting bucks while the mayor pick fights. As our life keeps growing, Shane's all knowing. Delivering the truth on how the QB's throwing. Dimes on time, or just lacking fundamental. Whatever the case, we get hot like Cecil. Fiery discussion on what happened in the game. This ain't your daddy's postgame show, expect the fucking flame. Not for the average fan, I love they can survive.
But don't you worry.
Bears Hour Live.
Bears Hour Live. Bears Hour Live. We go
Let him sit his ass there again. I don't think we're that much worse.
the myth, the rant legend, Dr. Phil Ototion.
This is football, baby. Culture is the problem. Let's get on little things. Bears Hour Live, Bears Hour
Son of a
Live,
bitch, you better
Bears
block.
Hour Live.
That's what happens.
Go
That's when
on
you have
live
a real
right
good team.
after Bears
And let's
games
get it
with
on.
your boys draft talk and the smartest.
Give me some fucking names.
This is Bears Hour Live.
Hey! Threw me off there. Welcome back. BHL Week 1 Bears versus 49ers. Bears are winners 19-10. A lot of questions remain, but you know what? End of the day, you come away with the W. That's the most important piece. We talked about it with our patrons at halftime. Wasn't looking so good. Some halftime adjustments, crazy weather. I don't know. I think I know where Phil's going with his rant, and I haven't even talked to him. May not sound like we won the game, but you guys don't want to hear from me. You want to hear from DDP. So it's a big win. Chicago Bears 1-0. Let's talk about it. It's rant time, boys and girls. Bring him in.
Yo, it is rant time. It is rant time here on TTNL because it's victory. No matter what you do in the game of football, you got to have pride and toughness. Togetherness is the reality of truth when it comes to winning and losing. I don't know what was going on in the first half. Confusion, mentality, complete lack of understanding the situations of football. It felt like, as Shane and I were talking, the same old thing. The same old thing. It wasn't pretty. Bad weather, ugly win.
but I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it because the W at the end of the day is the only thing that matters. It's the only thing that matters. Not this fantasy football stats, not the bullshit. It's about who's going to rise up and who's going to make a play when your team needs it. I was talking about Cole Kmet being a pussy out there, not throwing his body in there and destroying people and bringing an attitude. Anybody can catch a ball, but can you sell out for your team? There's a lot of people that got to look in the mirror after this game, but some of those veterans stepped up. Eddie Jackson, huge play, making the turnover. Robert Quinn hustling. The rookie Robinson hustling. You could see it. Brisker in the first half looked like a piece of shit. That's not the guy I saw. Then he turned it around and woke up. He looked in the mirror. These are the things that the Chicago Bears are going to have to build on. Now, Getsy, he ain't getting it. He doesn't get it. Now, I know the point. Get the frig or fuck out of the shotgun. It is pouring buckets. It is pouring buckets. It's a bad day. It was gun run, gun run, gun run, loss of one, loss of two. This stuff needs to change. It needs to change. And there's so much to talk about with this game, but the elephant in the room is the Chicago Park District and the Chicago Bears. That field was a disgrace. It's opening day. You don't have any way to have irrigation? You don't have any way to irrigate? Because what I saw was fucking Paddington Bear in his fucking raincoat out there. This is a disgrace. Puddleworths everywhere. Something has to be done. It's a travesty that this is the charter franchise on opening day. It's like Chicago without an eye. It's ridiculous. Leave the eye. Where is it? In team? Get in the I formation and run the ball. Now that team across the way, for perspective, is a Super Bowl caliber defense and a football team that went out there to beat you. And all these little blog boys and all the stories of stats aren't going to matter. Even my rant. Because at the end of the day, the shotgun and all the bullshit that I saw Getsy do, the W reigns supreme, Phil. The W reigns supreme. And if you learn from these mistakes, the reality of who the cream is will rise to the top. Who those players are. I think we found out a couple of truths about some of these guys today. And Shane, that is my rant, bro. I'm feeling it today. I can't hear you, but I can.
My bad. I got so much going on back here, man. I'm caught up. That damn mute button.
We got a W.
I mean,
we got a W.
Yeah, it is. I'm not gonna bag on the grounds crew. The way that I'm looking at it is they changed the surface. I imagine what the field would have looked like with the Kentucky bluegrass in there. I think it would have been infinitely worse. They can't control the way that the rain came down like that. That part of it is what it is, but you want to see your team adjust. And like I said, there's still questions. There's a long ways to go here.
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about,
Phil, but we mentioned it at halftime, and I know we're going to bring your dad out here in a little bit too, but you want to see some adjustments. And was Justin Fields perfect? No, far from it, but you continually see the glimpses, the big play potential. You can say whatever you want. Yes, Dante Pettis was wide open. I've seen plenty of Chicago Bears quarterbacks not make that play because they didn't see him wide open. And that speaks to it. That ball to EQ St. Brown, how many times on a layup like that have we seen the ball go out of bounds or just be a little bit to the right? You know,
exactly.
To take a little bit of a negative with Justin, the one to to
Pringle.
Byron Pringle. I think that could have been a little bit better ball. I think it ended up taking him right out of bounds. Pringle probably could have put in a little bit more effort to stay in bounds, but those are the little things when you're not a great football team that matter. But Phil, I think the overriding theme here is your phrase, the identity. The Chicago Bears have an identity, and I know David Haw and all the Bears beat writers call it hokey. It's hits, and it's bought into by this team. You see a play made, Phil, and you could feel it. You saw Justin Fields get hit late out of bounds, and you could feel it. You could feel the offensive line rally. You could feel the guys. It made a difference to them. Last year, we didn't see that. This hits philosophy gives these guys a rallying cry to continue forward. Eddie Jackson, welcome back, Bojack. Welcome back.
Gotta give him props, man.
Got to.
Made a good, embarrassed in the first half when he gets trucked by Deebo Samuel. But
yeah, I'll put
Muhammad's at fault.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Muhammad has outside contain. And if we were able to show that play, I know you had it earlier. When you're the free guy on the backside of shotgun and there's a mesh or RPO, you could see his read wasn't quarterback. So you have the shoulder of the running back to the opposite side. You come up the field, maintain, be square, and here it is. Look at you. See how he goes inside? The quarterback isn't threatening you as the backside edge. So you got to read right there, running back. Quarterback isn't even mesh. So he's going front side. So you got running back there. He's all caught up inside, and then Eddie's got to be stronger than that. Low man wins. Low man fucking wins. You got to get up in the alley and do that. And to Eddie Jackson's credit, I'm going to say it, opening day, you showed me a lot, Eddie, by coming up and making the goddamn play when it needed to be made, because those are the difference between winning and losing is catching and dropping the football. And how many fucking times have we seen the Chicago Bears in a position to put a team that's supposed to be better than you in the game of football away because you can't catch the football? You can remember Kyle Fuller against the Packers dropping the interception, and then the story goes. You can remember these moments that guys find. So what Shane is talking about is 100% correct. The hits philosophy on full display. Hustle, intensity, turnover, and score. That's the reality of what happened there today. Why did the narrative change for the announcer? He can't even understand where the fuck he is. Is he broadcasting on Peacock, the MLS, with Claudio, or is he watching a goddamn game in front of him? These guys are clowns. Gets me. I got so much to say, but Eddie Jackson has me fired up. And yes, David Montgomery, you got to get in the I formation, coach. If it's a downpour, why do we take, and to any blog boy or fan boy on Facebook, why do you take a knee, Shane, to end the game and get under center? Yeah. Why do you do that? Because you're securing the snap and kneeling down and ending the game. So there's no turnover. Well, if it's pouring out, the TV can't even fucking see the numbers. They're smudged like a kid at the freaking carnival on a fucking yo-yo or fucking frisbee. You gotta get under center and run the ball. That is killing me. That's something he's got to really take a look at. Too much gun run. And Justin Fields, man, he's not getting enough credit because of numbers. Shane, you made a great point about Dante Pettis. He scrambles out. He's looking the field. He's not looking to run like Cordell Stewart and like whoever the hell else you want to put in there.
Mike Brez said Mike Lennon. Oh, I'm sorry. My bad.
Or Mitch Trubisky. He's running out the pocket. He's looking for a play. I don't give a fuck. He's wide open. That's football. I don't care about the penalties. That's football. Yes, the penalties helped because you played to what Shane's talking about. Discipline. Hits philosophy. If I tell you right now, hit the fucking like button. Go run over there, smash the like. Why is this a problem? Why is this a problem? in a victory. Ugly win in an ugly storm, an ugly game is okay with me. Because you know what? It's like that kid who resets Madden because he didn't get the numbers he wanted. Like, that ain't fucking life, bro. The win won. The win. And yeah, there were some good things to build on out there defensively. Roquan Smith stepping up in the second half, making some plays, Shane. Making some plays. I don't get the Jenkins shit. But
yeah,
you want to talk about Roquan?
Roquan looked heavy to me today.
Oh, he's out of shape.
100%.
He was behind the ball
Yeah.
of where he was. He was behind the ball. He was behind the ball of where he should be, rather. All on him and the money and the contract. I don't care what anyway. He overcame that with sheer determination. What does my dad talk about? You got to play with determination. That kid played a second half. I'm sure when we look at the film, it's going to be a special showcase in the second half. And listen, an ugly win is way better. I think one of the fans said it, than an ugly ass loss. It looked like it was going that way.
Well, yeah, I mean, we got to talk about and I know you guys don't want to talk about special teams.
Keep up with the fucking chat. He's so lost. Look at him.
Those rookie cobwebs.
Get it going. The BHL TTNL fans, show your pride. Smash that like button.
We have to be open and honest here, and we can't talk about this game without talking about the kicking game and Cairo Santos.
I didn't even put it in my rant, bro.
Yeah.
What did I call it? Chuck Knobloch?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, this has been the thing. Santos has went through these things before, and yes, he's dealt with some injuries, but it's critical that he has the bounce back next week. I understand the elements, but I mean, 2 extra points, and there for a second, I'm like, there's no way they could attempt a field goal with this rain coming down the way that it is. But it's definitely something that we have to look at. We saw a couple of low snaps back to the punter, to Trenton Gill. I was glad that didn't come into play, because you know how these games go, Phil, when they're, points are at a premium. If I would have told you that the Bears were going to put up 19 in the second half, you would have told me that that I was a crazy person. But it's not all doom and gloom, man. Dominique Robinson, got to talk about that kid. You want to talk about one of the most your first sack, you're bringing that. Trey Lance is a load. He's a big dude. One arm, man. One arm.
And swung his ass down.
Yeah, he did.
Swung his ass down with some pride. Yeah, I don't want it to be all doom. I want to get the negative shit off the table. And then let's talk some positive in a win. I won't even call it an ugly win. We've already defined that. I think everybody knows. And thank you for putting up that play, Shane. But the reality of Gunn is getting me concerned week 1. It's too much. If you're trying to hide your center as a weakness, and that's what you're doing, then you're hurting your offensive philosophy and what it is that you should be able to do well. Because if you got a guy that's 4.40 and you put him behind a fullback, then you're able to get some things going that I think you want to see. But for me, I don't know what I was looking at in the Tevin Jenkins thing. If they had him, is there a tweet out there? Is there a rotation? Because you could see that he comes in on the last drive.
I haven't seen anything if he got dinged up. I don't know.
It looked like series to series, they were switching him out. And to me, again, I can't stand
the NFL,
that
man.
I can't stand that.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that either. My blueprint for this game was, if Lucas Patrick could not snap the football, then to me, it's pretty simple. You sit the guy down and you let him get healthy. You paid him to come here and be your starting center pretty clearly. So that's the way that I look at it. And I mentioned it to Ryan Cox and Carr's pregame when we were talking privately, that I don't want to hear the sunshine and rainbows for Tevin Jenkins from Ryan Poles if that's not what it is. You know what I mean? It's
absolutely.
It doesn't match up to me.
Let's bring
And
my dad in there
Yeah.
with you to talk about. There he is.
Hey, listen,
I know
I
you
got
were
this-
you
I
were
had two
jumping
things
back and forth.
The only thing I can tell you, there's two things I'm going to tell you, and this is the way I feel. You can't. There's a big question mark in everybody's head that's playing for the Chicago Bears. Never mind the fans, Chicago Bears that go into a game against the 49ers, a championship caliber team. Most of the guys on that team, in my estimation, say, I don't think we can do this, but let's give it our best shot. That particular thought in your mind cannot work. And I don't care what the gods, the grain gods, and all this other stuff, but all of a sudden they get back into the game. And you know something? They had a lot of pride, and that's all you worry about. This game, check it off, pass it by, because every football team has their first game, and they usually suck. I'm going to tell you right now. The second
We've
game,
had a lot of first games over the years, Coach.
I got to tell you, the game sucks. The way they play, there's 90,000 things wrong. And then you go into the second game and you're able to make all these corrections, and all of a sudden they see it. But you know something? You got to win. And the win is the most important thing. The Chicago fans are screaming and hollering. And I got to tell you something. I really felt that because you were in again 10 zip at that time, I said, this is a big plus for them. They're playing great defense.
Mhm.
Their defense is quality defense. And they're tackling just like I knew they would. They're tackling. And I think that's the big bonus. The one thing I see, and I think Justin Fields, when I look at him, he's accurate, but he's late throwing the ball.
He is.
Yeah.
He's
Especially
late throwing
today.
the ball. That's exactly you're going to get interceptions like that. Yeah, and he's got to practice that. He's got to see himself on film, one-on-one with the head coach, and look at that, or the quarterback coach, whoever it is, and just see himself. And all of a sudden, it's that baseball throw.
Right.
I think it's got to come. It's got to come out sooner. But you know something? He'll make that adjustment. I think he is. He's a quality kid, and he'll do that.
Well, he comes back he came back in the second, and he started throwing the football on time. And to
good.
Shane's point, the accuracy off the eye. Obviously, they didn't get a great mesh, but you saw him get back to that fifth step, delivers the football to St. Brown in the back of the end zone. I mean,
Perfect placement on that
can't
ball.
put that a better place.
I know that. But looking at most of the times you see where he's not. You'll see.
Right. I agree with you.
But anyway, those things are correctable. The most important thing is get that line, get that pass protection and doing the right thing. And most of the time they did. It's a tough game. The elements are terrible, but you got to win.
Again,
the second
Dad,
game is going to be the big plus.
Mustafa again continues to just get blown back. And I really think they're trying to hide him by getting in the gun so much.
I don't know. He's blackmailing somebody. I think the coaches realize what talent is.
I don't
think
get
that
it.
kid from Yale is better than he is.
I know, Dieter. I don't understand that. I don't understand the rotation. And I think, Shane, you hit it out of the park. I totally agree with you. If Lucas Patrick can't snap, he came here to be your center, your captain, your prick, as you called him, Poles. You can't then go put him in a rotation when you're trying to build. And I'll tell you what, Jenkins really showed a lot. If you watch, I'm interested. I can't wait to see the tape on that, because there's one play on the toss where Jenkins is just taking his guy and just driving him into the sidelines. That kind of stuff is the things you build on an offensive line. This is what I thought you were working towards. But again, Dieter was dressed today. This would have been a perfect time to see what he would have brought to the table. Again, it's a question again with the shotgun. I mean, how many times are you going to go shotgun run, Shane? Shotgun
Way too
run.
many times.
Shotgun run.
And the sad part about it is, Phil, is I didn't expect that at all. with the way that these guys were talking. And I said that was my worry at halftime when we talked to our patrons during the halftime show, was a big part of any Chicago Bears game plan in the past has been to put things out publicly, and then your game plan included something completely different. Like they're trying to pull the okey doke. That was what the Bears included that a lot in their game plans in the past. And I'm like, oh, yeah, this can't be, this isn't happening again. But it's hopefully they get it cleaned up and figured it out, because I mean, what Monty was, I think 17 rushes for 26 yards today, and that's obviously not sustainable moving forward. But Blasingame,
that defense is tough.
Oh, 100%. But I mean, the Bears had more opportunities there for the take. The Blasingame, the screen pass, he releases and goes downfield. He picks up one block. His one block. That was the guy that blew it up, made the tackle. You could have got you could have had a big gainer there.
And you see, point, the only thing I wanted to tell you and relate this to your fans as well: keep your eyes open, your ears open, because you're going to see them win some games.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This is not last year. This is a good football team under a good, possibly a great coach. I'm going to tell you something. I'm impressed with this guy. Those guys played their hearts out. I don't care who they are. They played their hearts out.
They played. That's a credit to what it is we were talking about all off season. And Shane said it. The narrative from the beat writers might have been giggling, but the culture that you're trying to build enabled you to what you're saying, Dad. 10-0. I'm at halftime ready to destroy some people. And I'm going crazy about this game and the game plan and the situations you're putting this football team in a rainstorm. Like, that's the time where you're going up against the championship team and you're in the mud. So the low man's going to win. Running the ball and getting in some I formation and power game is going to take some fucking pride. And Cole Kmet let me down today because I thought like he got pushed around like he was a 180-pound receiver. That's got to change. This can't be like that.
Phil, we talked about that here in this outside zone that they're going to be running. If he can't block, he's not going to be what you need.
Exactly.
It's going to dictate everything for Cole Kmet.
He has to grow up. And I already know what David Montgomery is. If you Khalil Herbert flag, he had a touchdown. We're going to run a narrative now. I already know what transpired. It's shit play call accompanied by a great defense with a shitty offensive line play today. That's it. The backup quarterback's going to be the star of the town. In Chicago, we can't afford that bullshit. There's got to be some cultural understanding of play calling and defining your identity and how you're going to handle. Because I thought Kyle Shanahan blew his game. He decided to go out with Trey Lance, and he should have went with 19 and started running the fucking ball and sweeps and power game off of that. They did lose their starting running back. I know Coach Eberflus is coming up, but we'll finish that point. I can't hear it.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
The show teams, they did an excellent job. We had 3 days of great practice. Our walkthroughs were really good. Guys were focused and sharp. And I want to thank the players. Can't thank them enough. The coaches did a nice job of putting together a nice game plan and making halftime adjustments, being able to adjust to what we saw in the first half and be able to come out in the second half and have productive football in the second half. And then support staff. Everybody in the building is part of a victory, and I always tell them that.
I thought he fucked up by not going for two.
On point when we're doing that.
On a math.
The numbers dictated it.
The number dictated it. You got to go for two. You put Cairo, Chuck Knobloch, Santos out. Get rid of him. I'm ready to get rid of a kicker. I'm getting kickers in this week.
Really good.
I'm not going to let a kicker
in the first half
control this team.
We had to shorten some
things
up in the halftime.
He's going to get it back. We've seen that story.
So I thought the guys did a nice job at halftime.
Remember Cody Parkey, Shane?
Four-quarter game.
No, he's going to get it back.
And
don't get it back.
We always tell the guys,
get it back with a competition.
Mental and physical stamina for what reason? And it is because of the way
Coach,
we practice.
You got to understand. Go for two there.
To stay focused
It's a two,
when
it's a
it is
two
the second
possession
half,
game
in those critical
irregardless.
moments, and they can play and be focused in those moments. So that was really good. And it's, we're 1-0. We're 1-0. It's a 24-hour rule. I told the guys, enjoy the victory. I said, we're back to work tomorrow, and we're going to be squared away looking at the next opponent, and that's what it is. I told them, enjoy it tonight, and then we'll get forward to the next day. So, and then lastly is that win or lose, you always learn from performance. There's only one way to get better is by learning whatever it is.
I totally agree, Coach.
You learn from performance. So get with your coach, right?
Dad,
you
you
guys
just
get
said
together and then let's get better, because you have to get better every single week. We got a lot of young players on our squad that they need to take what they've learned from this game, okay, and get better. Good, bad, or indifferent. They have to get better. So in our individual on Wednesday, we'll reflect that. So whatever they're working on, we're going to have a good 15, 20 minutes individual to work on the fundamentals of football, because that's what wins football games.
Thank you.
That's going to be a big part of what we do here as coaches
Thank
as we
you
make
very
these
much.
corrections from this game going forward. With that, I'll open it to questions.
Yeah, but what's the significance for you in your first win as an NFL head coach?
Yeah, it's good.
There's no club dub.
I'm excited
Love
about
that
it. I
comment.
think
You're
the guys
right.
did a nice job in training camp and all the way back 7 months ago, laying the foundation. They laid the foundation of what we talk about.
His hair
by
recovered
playing
pretty
hard
good
and
for being in a
intense,
monsoon.
taking the ball
Right.
away and then playing some smart ball.
You got blow
And
dryers
those
in the
guys did
locker.
that. The
Or a
coaches, the
towel.
players, and we have something to stand
Never
on.
saw a
And again, it's
towel
not,
penalty before in
perfect.
my life.
We have a lot of work to do. We have to get better as the season goes. But that's
They
what I
should
would
get
say.
that towel
Feeling like for
autograph,
you in
and
the
it could be
pouring
worth
rain
some
as
money.
Clocks are ticking down to zero. When you realize, well, I'm going to get my first win as an NFL coach here.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
my
a happy
God.
feeling. It really is when you see.
What do you
that
think
they're
he's
out-
gonna
they're out of
say? Is that
timeouts
Mark
and the
Grody?
clock's going down.
I
And,
gotta get
and
on
the
his
rain's
ass
coming
for that
down,
question.
And it's a good feeling. It was exciting, and for the first victory, and and I'm
That's the
I'm
last
excited for the
question.
guys too.
Kind of
I'm
question.
excited for everybody. Offense, defense, kicking, and I'm excited for the organization.
You better not
It's,
be excited for
it was fun.
kicking, because that should
There
be
was no belly flop going. No, I wasn't gonna do
Christian
that.
Watkins just dropped the wide open touchdown for the Packers.
Yeah, so that's a scramble drill. So if you're coach defense, when you play zone, which they play a lot of zone, we play a lot of zone. And if you're in shell coverage, whatever that shell coverage is, or if you're in single high coverage, whatever that is, as soon as the quarterback scrambles, you got to plaster your man in your
Listen,
area.
the rookies had
Okay?
their
And
mistakes.
what happens is you got to plaster them
Whiskers
with your
first
eyes
half
and your body.
had a
'Cause what
great
happens is you start to look back, and all of a sudden he
destructive
wiggles away and you lose
recovery.
him. So, that's
Jalen
probably
Johnson,
what I
you
saw
hope he's
happen. I gotta
okay,
go back and
Shane.
look at the tape, but
He came back
what
in.
a great play.
And
The
then
division by Justin, you
Kyler
see that,
Gordon up and down,
and throw it back
making
there,
plays, and
was a
then
great
made
play.
a couple
And
mistakes.
that's the kind of plays he can make, and that's what makes
It's
him
gonna happen.
dangerous, because he can throw unscheduled throws, but man, he's got the off-schedule throws too. And we've always said he's an outstanding deep ball thrower. He can throw the ball deep accurately. So
Well, you
we're
also
all
gotta
excited
know,
about that
like,
play for sure.
What did you think of the offense, man, overall today?
I thought it was good. Like I said, it was rough sledding in the first half. We were trying to find our way, and then we found our way starting into that drive, going into the 2-minute drive, and they really picked up pace from there. And I thought they had a really good second half, and they capitalized on the turnovers.
Got to just say
and
they
that's
got
complementary
improve.
football, and that's what you got to do. We want to create. Our job is the defense and the special teams is to create short fields for your offense, and the special teams creates long fields for the defense. And if you looked at that first half, it wasn't that way. I mean, the field position, we were starting backed up the entire time, right? And then when we got on defense, it was at midfield. And that's what I told the guys. I said, guys, we've been starting the whole first half midfield, and they got 7 points. Okay, we should have. We had a great drive at the end there. They're going to do a good job in the second half.
with great field position all first half.
Yeah, so that rule was put in, right? It's a foreign object. You can clear off the spot, with your foot or your hand, but you cannot take a foreign object out there to clear it off.
A foreign object? It's a towel. I never heard of such a thing.
You can only use your hands
those
or
guys
feet.
have to do a good job of
Is that from the New England Patriots?
We got to do a better job.
Clearing off the field with a snow plow?
That's right.
away.
Probably where that came from.
Yeah.
What do you think that did for them? Kind of dating back to your principles and
that was great. That was great. They were on a drive. They had some momentum when we stopped it with that. That happens. I can go back to countless examples where the guys get in the red zone, and if you just hang in there on defense and you keep pounding the rock, good things will happen. And that's what happened. Jalen punched it, and then Brisker recovered it. And it was an outstanding play. And that happens a lot of times on the perimeter. The ball comes off the body, and you get a punch out.
Since the beginning of the offseason program, you talked about this being a fresh start for Eddie Jackson. What was it like for you to see him get that?
Yeah. That was outstanding. I mean, I saw him right when he came off the field, and I gave him a big hug, and he was real happy, and I couldn't be prouder of him. And he was excited to get that for his teammates, and it was a fun moment.
When you came in here, one of the things you preached was discipline. To win the penalty battle, to have fewer turnovers than the other team. Does that show that if you don't do the self-inflicted stuff, you get yourself a chance? You do. You give like we said from the onset, we play smart, aggressive football. So you can still hit, and do the things and play aggressive and finish plays and do it the right way.
Exactly.
Do it the smart, aggressive way.
And look at the
if you
discipline
line, you see that where
of
it's
this
just like,
team
hitting after
versus
the whistle,
what we've seen the last 5-6 years.
All those types of things.
You got to give credit to
you
that.
beat yourself that way.
They had 0 penalties in the second half.
And we show guys
says a lot about this fucking coach. I don't care what anyone
as a football team, field position wise, keeps drives alive. And we had that today. We had a couple sustained drives through penalties that we got that were against us, which was I thought was really good.
You got those on a couple of Justin scrambles, and you had the big touchdown pass to Pettis on kind of a scramble.
They got to get this offensive line right
about
now.
How often he was having to scramble and whether that's viable for you guys going forward.
Yeah, I don't see that concern right now. I mean, I'll go back and look at the tape, but I don't see that coming off the game. I have to watch the tape, but I thought that it was he did it when he was supposed to.
With Tevin and Lucas Patrick rotating it
They
right
definitely
guard,
listened to us about the mic.
We're going to rotate them the whole week. Yeah, that was going to be that way. And
there it is, Shane.
Lucas had the Q-tip on, so
is that my girl Courtney or Dion?
The guard position. So we were rotating them the whole time.
They're rotating guards in the game. Don't agree with that at all.
Can you appreciate in the moment what you mentioned the showing the hits principle and your guys really kind of buying in?
I didn't agree with fucking
I
Steve Spurrier rotating quarterbacks. Rotate the centers.
You could feel that, so that, the first game, Kansas City, then we went out to Seattle, then the Cleveland game, you could start them to feel that, hey, how it's starting to pay off, and man, this hard work that we're doing is starting to really work.
Rotate the centers.
And it's winning football. And then we just kind of brought that into the practice. The guys had really, 2 weeks of practice before the first game. And man, they did a nice job. Like I said, it wasn't perfect. We're 1-0. We got a lot to work on, and we'll go from there.
I can't even keep up. I can't even keep up.
We'll look at it.
Smash the like button. There's 1,127 of you.
And then we'll go from
watching live here.
You want to celebrate wins personally? Do you know what?
I
how you condition a guard? Get on the fucking treadmill and run. Then we'll talk to you. We don't condition him in the game.
Be normal.
In a fucking huge game. He hasn't played guard. Fucking dumb to me.
How surprised are you?
Rotate the centers who've been playing. I like that idea.
I'm not surprised. I thought the guys executed. I thought that they hung in there. And that's what you got to do in the NFL.
You know what happened?
It's always going to be hard. Always.
Yeah, exactly.
Comes
all of a sudden they're running fucking gun run.
That's the way the
NFL is. A bubble there.
Right.
I can't wait to check out the tape and show you what the difference is. In a gun, you have to get the ball. So there's a delay in the new era offense. So now if your center misses or there's penetration, now the running back's got to stop his feet because it is a delay to it. When you're throwing the fucking ball down the field in the gun, then yeah, you can establish a run there. But you not doing it and on a fucking wet surface, smudgy Paddington Bear football today, you got to get under center, get in the eye, and dictate this game. And I think you would have had a better showing today. But to your point, Dad, your original point, I knew the first game wasn't going to be pretty for the Bears offense, but the competitor in me was totally pissed off about what they did with the run game and the rotating of Tevin Jenkins. Tevin's been playing guard the whole time. You're trying to establish a cohesiveness. Lucas Patrick has had his cast up, and he's riding a bike with Bear Truth 9 in the fucking stands. Don't put him in the game because you signed this guy. And Shane, you're 100% right. If he can't snap, he doesn't play.
Yeah, get him
Go with
healthy.
what you know. It was dumb.
The same thing with Velus Jones. Velus Jones sent out a tweet this morning, kind of alluding to that maybe he was going to be active. And I'm like, let these guys get healthy. It's a long season.
17 games.
Let them get healthy and then bring them back.
I had a point with the rotating guards or rotating anything. Receivers are the best rotators if you want to give plays or messages. Guards have got to run 40 yards to get to the sideline if it's on the other hash. And I want to tell you something. It takes something out of you. You know that you do that 10 times. That's 40-yard dashes you're running. You got to get out.
No, they were rotating them by the series. So technically, they didn't have to run in and out. But
it wasn't down in and down out. It
wasn't down in.
Couple
it was
series in, couple series out. Yeah,
it was like 2 series each. And it became a distraction. I mean, Justin Jenkins' presence is felt. Now, again, this is just me watching it via TV first time, but there was a difference between Justin Jenkins in there. Again, I don't know how many times I'm just dying inside because if you're going to keep this young kid Jones at left tackle, Jenkins should be your right tackle.
Tevin Jenkins, not Justin Jenkins.
I'm sorry. Did I say Justin?
Tevin
Jenkins should be a right tackle.
It's your first game too. Get a couple screw ups.
Get a guard in there or somebody that's going to fire out. Not Lucas Patrick with a cast on his snapping hand. I just don't get it, Shane. But again, they do win. I like the idea of rotating centers with Dieter. I don't like the idea of guards. But again, we're going to see. The tape is going to tell the story. Now, there's a play that I thought – there's one play I saw via TV that I thought Mustipher did a great job. Not a good job. He did a great job. And then the very next play, number 99, Kinlaw, takes Mustipher, lifts him up, and just carries him into the backfield, and there's an interception. This stuff has got to be cleaned up. The strength at the point of attack isn't there, and it's unfortunate. The other thing, Shane, we didn't really get to talk too much on Cole Kmet, but I think it's got to be said. This guy was drafted high, a lot of hype on him, a lot of stuff. I thought he was growing in the preseason, did not show well today.
This was a game that was made for Cole Kmet with his size and, supposed strength. You hear a guy like Clay Harbor praising him, and it was exactly not that. I mean, he got punched in the face just like the rest of the fucking Notre Dame Fighting Irish did.
But 0-2.
Yeah.
He got one.
They're used to it.
He might be out of a job, that guy.
Oh, I don't know. Could he?
But no, a game like today, Phil, was ready made for Cole Kmet to go out there, and it's not always about receiving touchdowns and receptions. You want to see him show the growth in the block. In this scheme, it's everything.
Everything.
If Cole Kmet is not going to block, if he's not going to be physical, he's not going to play, nor should he. You
can't hold other players from the past regime accountable and not him. What I saw out there versus Joey Bosa, you showed me that you lack the character of pride. You just got fucking bamboozled by him. I would be infuriated. The next play, I want the same play run if I'm him, and I'm going to bury Bosa into the fucking ground to the whistle. I'll get a penalty. He took your manhood, and you walk back to the huddle smiling. You go to the fucking soccer fields and go play that sport. That's where you go. Get the fuck out of here, because that ain't going to fly. I mean, this has to be a cultural across the board. There's got to be. It's like Aaron Starks pointing out Twitter. I already knew. I already knew the numbers gurus were going to be David Montgomery. Where is he? Look at the fucking play calls. What are we doing here? It's a testament to the game of football.
I had somebody tweet me in game talking about, this is precisely why David Montgomery isn't going to be a Chicago Bear next year. Now, I don't want to get into the contract. I happen to believe that the Bears will not resign him. Not that he's not talented enough to do it, but today had nothing to do with the talent or the physicality or, the know-how of David Montgomery at all.
No.
Oh my God.
You know something, the footing for linemen too, when it's that wet, it's hard to drive people out, even blocking. The defense has a better shot because they're just running. They're running to a spot when they come out. To block somebody and that cylinder doesn't stay there. When I talk about the cylinder, man's chest is a cylinder, and you're putting your hands on that, and you fire
slippery.
out with your shoulder. It's slippery because they're turning, and it forces you to grab, or you just fall yourself because you need power to keep driving, and you lose your footing, and with that kind of wet. But anyway, no excuses. You got to win. That's the best thing.
Got to win.
Anybody,
I think David Montgomery.
In professional football, is that field grass?
Yes.
If that's what you want to call it. It was Bermuda grass laid down a week ago.
Grass can't be in the NFL. I'm sorry. The NFL is about offense. And if
we agree with you here.
If you're going to put that field, it automatically slows your time down. It slows your patterns down. You're talking about working coordination with each other. When you get on a national turf field, every kid feels like he's faster. You know that?
Oh, I know. Plus, you got your footing. If it was raining and you had field turf today, and we've said this before, and before any of you tell me, I spoke to McCaskey myself. It's the Bears' choice. It is not the Chicago Park District. It is the Bears' choice. They have that written into their contract. So they decide, do we want field turf or grass? The Bears have decided for grass every time. It wasn't until now that the head coach decided we're going to lay down the Bermuda grass, but it's still the same shitty result. And it proved victorious today. Here's Justin Fields. Can't hear him.
No, not really. Just because of the defense they play, it's vision break defense. They're just watching me, watching my eyes, and kind of watching where I go. So I knew he was over there, and once I kind of looked right and saw him there wide open, I just I lofted it up just to make sure, he caught the ball. So, he did a great job with yards after the catch, and then EQ threw a great block, so he could get in the end zone. So, yeah.
EQ did do a great job down the field.
Yeah, I think that was the kind of the play that changed the momentum of the whole game. So, once that play happened, that kind of just started everything else.
In the second half, you and
holy shit, the chat room is on fire.
A little bit more and trying to make a few things out of it.
Yeah. We stopped doing it because I think
we're not going to be jumping and celebrating, as Shane said.
Like that. So, we definitely wanted to try that.
Exactly,
for
Mike.
A little bit, but they still were, sticking to the game plan where every time I would go out, they would have that DN right outside waiting for me. So I just tried to, make a positive play.
What's your read on the second touchdown to EQ? And did you consider Pringle at all? So he got open as well to the side.
Pringle?
Yeah.
He had he was on the backside, right?
Why are we calling
on that? So my read on that is just the flat to the corner.
Did you consider him? I just threw a touchdown on a dime ball.
That was my second
I'm
read.
I'm going to talk about my third read.
And then saw EQ. He took
only
a good
in Chicago.
Safety right there. And just hit him for the touchdown. And of course, the O-line did a great job protecting that play. So
did you hear that question?
You scrambled in the second half. You kind of got to give a little bit of flex. Was that like a kind of a moment for you when you felt like you kind of just?
Which one?
I want to say the second one. Where you got
in the second half.
You got across midfield and you broke through.
I can't even keep with the comments. I don't even understand this question.
I like to celebrate a little bit. They always bring it up in film, like who has the best celebration, stuff like that. So, we always, keep the film rolling on that. and they encourage celebrations. So we'll see who had the best celebration after we look at the tape for sure.
Justin, what was his team able to lean on to stay so locked in and disciplined when everything, the weather, the offense not being able to get going in the first half, like nothing seemed to be working right away? What discipline did you guys lean on to be able to stay disciplined?
Yeah, I think, just what we were built on. Coach always says, it's mental stamina, mental and physical stamina, who can play the longest, the hardest, and, just play every play. So I think, we won this game with mental and physical stamina. So I'm proud of the defense, proud of the O-line, just proud of everybody today.
Good. So when you look at your
determination,
yes. What you did say, what do you say needs to be better going forward?
One thing was the first pick that I threw. They were in three hook week. The safety came down. I saw Mooney opening up. I tried to move Fred. He was a front side hook defender with my eyes the right way, but that backside hook defender, like I said before, they play the vision and break defense. So
there's a reason why I loved Hufanga.
Eyes go right. Then he came over a little bit.
He was on display today. There's football players, and then there's
I just gotta just read the
guys that play the game of football.
Just make a better decision. But
Hufanga's a football player.
Of course there were some.
And if you don't get that, you probably are a nerd who's never understood anything about the game.
The whole game.
Because they're two different things.
And the gloves and everything, like how much control do you feel like you had over your throws today?
Yeah, it's just inconsistent. So some throws you have full control, and then some throws where the ground is so wet, it's not, you don't have as much grip. So it just differs every play.
You mentioned the celebration. What was the slip and slide like for you at the end there?
I mean, that was
awesome.
That was awesome.
Sorry, King James. The gift
we took the last
will continue to give on give. Thank you for a win.
To run to the end zone and do that. So that was a snapshot moment for sure.
Sorry, that doesn't work.
I don't know. I think it was one of the O-linemen, and then I heard it, and I was like, oh, yeah, everybody's got to do it. So, took the last snap, and then we all just ran into the end zone and did that. So that was cool.
I think that's going to be the best celebration, right?
That was a little creative thing. I gotta give them
after
credit.
Like first downs and touchdowns, but they'll probably say
you win the game, have a little fun.
Look at that one.
Much better than Club Dub is the Soldier Field swamp dive.
Yeah, flat. Exactly.
Hurry up, Acevedo. Make that a T-shirt.
For third down percentage is 48%.
What do they have next week?
Not force anything down.
In Green Bay Packers.
Maybe he catch the ball.
Sunday night football.
And, break it down and get the first down. So I just
Lambeau is away.
And that, and just of course, no one.
Where you get your
You guys were third and long a lot in the first half. Like, what do you think allowed you to break away from that sort of purgatory?
Really just first and second down, putting ourselves in a good position, getting the run game going a little bit. I thought the line did a great job blocking in the second half, for the run game a little bit more. So got that going on first and second down. And then, of course, you have positive plays on first and second down. That'll set you up for better success on third down.
So what's your assessment just with Tevin and Lucas kind of coming in and out?
I mean, I couldn't look at him like individually, but I don't know. So I have no idea, to be honest with you.
Justin, Braxton Jones didn't win every rep, as you warned us. But how do you think he handled his first NFL game, especially with
the Soldier Field swamp dive T-shirts?
Just like we talked about earlier in the week,
going to be a hot seller.
Not gonna,
just
be
put it
against one of the
with
best
text,
in the league,
right? Ivan, just
move on.
We don't need a graphic.
And you just move to the next
Soldier
one,
Field swamp dive.
Everybody gets got on one play. It's really just on how you respond. So yeah.
Justin, you guys were able to find success with those improv plays. How much of that success comes from the preparation, just working on the scramble drills, and how much of that is just your ability to freestyle?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot. So just scramble drill rules,
Can't wait to talk about those halftime adjustments after this.
Kind of them filling out the spacing and really just, trying to extend the play as long as I can to where either I can, throw it to one of them or maybe run for a few yards or even throw it away. So, I think they did a great job with that today, though.
Put in perspective what your defense did today and keeping you guys right there for as long as they did.
Yeah, I mean, they did awesome. First half, only giving up 7 or 10 points? 7 points with
7 points. You want some TTNL swag?
Did a great job. Bojack came up with
Soldier Field swamp dive tees. TTNL swag.
First or second drive of the game. I mean, that was awesome. So the defense did a great job today.
Get over there. Hopefully, Acevedo's working on it now. I appreciate you, Justin. Grit, determination, all of those things. This network led by you, Dad, has talked about for the last 2.5 years. As Shane has pointed out, we're going on to year 3. We just kicked off our anniversary here. Please smash the like button. Some of you who aren't subscribed to the channel, do so now. So many things to get into as the Bears claim victory over the San Francisco 49ers week 1. They said it couldn't be done. I've heard that many times before. Nobody picked the Chicago Bears to win. It's you against the world. That's the greatest thing about the greatest game in the world. Any given Sunday. It was a movie for a reason. It's cliche for a reason.
That's why they
you
play
come
the
in.
game.
What's that? That's why.
Horse race.
That's why they play the games.
Phil, real quick, I know we're going to do it because it was an early game today, but if anybody would like to come on, we're going to have one fan on
gotta
to talk
be
about
hyped.
the game. Hit me up at Shane Marsaw on Twitter. You have to have a headphone. Headphones. You have to have a mic and a device with a camera on it to come on. Just hit me up on Twitter real quick. I'll send you the link and we'll get you on the show.
A win is a win is a win is a win. I don't ever mince my words. In fact, when I'm coaching 5-year-olds all the way up to college, and then you get into the great NFL, the same thing should be said. We ain't here to have fun because losing isn't fun. We're here to win, which is fun. It's fun to win. And you got to put in the work. It ain't going to be easy. And we saw today the ebb and flows of this football game. You can build off of this. You can. To my dad's point, I don't remember a first game. Maybe Gary Croton, I think, when he was here, Shane, we had a fucking first game blowout. And we look like we're ready to take over we might have been playing the Chiefs back then.
Yeah, they caught up to Gary pretty quick.
That shit caught up real quick, as I would say. So you want to have things to build on because, as Kevin Woodall is saying, is stealing my brain and my train of thought, to win in this league is probably the hardest. So you got to be able to do it. And everybody and their brother knew San Francisco and the talent they have. Now, I would not start Trey Lance, but they have decided in how they wanted to go. I thought, he showed some skills. Obviously, I feel much more comfortable with Justin Fields. Now, early on, I felt like Justin was holding the ball too long and getting caught in these plays. And I feel like you're going to have to tap into, Dad, as an offensive coordinator, his off-the-script plays. And before anybody gets panic-stricken by that, probably the last 2-year MVP makes a lot of money by going off the script to make plays. I'm sure he's probably made a few off-the-script plays already today against the Vikings. These things have to be identified in Justin Fields' repertoire. And if they are coupled with you designing them, the biggest takeaway for me is the influx of weirdness on the offensive line and the gun runs. There's just too many. We aren't at Mississippi State. This ain't Ole Miss. This gun run shit has got to be fixed, and hopefully they do it soon this week because you're going up to Green Bay. You're going to have to identify that you're going to have to beat them with physicality and toughness. This defense, I liked a lot of things. I liked the second half adjustments. Thought Brisker, Gordon, and Robinson for rookies stepped up and played real well. I thought Robert Quinn played really well. I thought Mike Pennell played real well on first look. The kid they got and picked up from Minnesota, Armon Watts, I thought he played real well. So there were some guys that were playing really well out there, Shane, that I felt like was true to form of what it is that Eberflus wants.
And we saw a guy like Travis Gibson push inside and
on third downs. They got that NASCAR package.
Love it. Love to see that.
It too. I wonder if they'll give him credit for that other sack when Roquan goes diving over near the end.
Yeah, did they give him
a sack?
They gave Dominique Robinson a sack and a half, and Roquan got a half sack.
So they didn't give the other sack to Gibson on that. It was running out near the end, that last series.
I don't
scrambled to the left.
Let me look real quick.
Jesus Christ.
No, they have him down for 2 sacks. Roquan with a half sack and Dominique Robinson with a sack and a half.
Phil, do you think Getsy went the gun runs because we're about footing? I think it's the opposite. I said this point in the beginning, Bubba. I'm going to say it again. When you're closing out the game and you do it by getting under center and taking a knee, that's the safest and securest way to get the snap. When you're in a downpour and you're 6 yards back waiting for a center to snap it to you, that ball's rain coming down, wind, that ball could go left, it could go right, fumble on the ground. Now all of a sudden, we've been there. We got a fucking kicker missing extra goddamn points. We've been here. So get under center and start running the goddamn fucking football. You saw the success. They ran the toss play, right? Out of the eye. David Montgomery gets 7. They go back in gun. Very next play. Stay in the goddamn formation. Stay in a counter off it. Waggle out of it. Get in this. This is the same shit with Nagy. It's the same. I don't give a shit about the scoreboard. You want fucking rainbows? What do you say, Shane? Sunshine and fucking rainbows? Go somewhere else. I want a Super Bowl. That's the goal here. Mustafa ain't giving me a Super Bowl at center. It's not. Unless he gets fucking in the weight room, starts lifting. He's got a lot of work to do. That wasn't good out there. Now, if I watch the tape and it's the opposite of what I felt like I saw today, I'll be the first one to correct myself and I'll go live on this channel. But I felt like he was getting pushed around. Same with Komet. Russell Webster. I don't give a fuck if it's goddamn Lawrence Taylor versus Cole Komet. Block his ass. It's about technique. Not fucking, you're 6'7", 260 pounds. I will coach you to move his ass out. I don't give a fuck who it is. It's about technique and want to. It's not about, he's playing against a good guy. You're soft. You want to run the fucking waggle, run through the seat, score touchdowns, and do a fucking dance. How about watch George Kittle block? He's 30 pounds lighter, and he blocks like a fucking filthy animal. Fuck out of here. Go to another network with that shit. Talk about that shit with the Sunshine and Rainbow crew, Nick Mariano. Well, geez, guys, we got Green Bay next week. We're going to lose that one. No! You come out and you fucking run the ball, action off it, just and creative. That's how you win. That's how you win. I'm celebrating with this football team, but I'm pointing out the bullshit. It's got to be fixed. How do you fix shit? If you got a leak in the house, KO, do you fucking, we'll wait till the plumber's ready on Monday. You turn off the fucking water till the plumber can get there. That's how you fix it. God.
Or you let Steph find it, right?
They got you.
Boy, Bill, I'm glad we won the game. You would have been
I'm so tired of a losing fucking rainbow culture. I'm tired of it.
You know something?
Go ahead. And then we got to get our guy in here. I want to hear what he has.
Go ahead. I think every coach should have a formation for rain and short yardage. And it's when it rains, you got to do something different. You know, me with that V formation. You know, that's a great offensive set. Thinking about it, you know, you're getting an ISO at the point of attack so fast. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And you know,
we have to draw the V formation up for these guys.
I never see this.
You never see it in the NFL.
4th and a foot. and you're on your own 20 coming out. And the game, you got to make the first down, otherwise the game is over. You know, if you can keep yourself in the game. You don't want to throw the ball because your quarterback might not hit it. Why not put 2 guards in those A-gaps, the 2 guards you got, the tackles, and run quarterback sneak with all those guys blocking ahead of you? I want to tell you something. That works.
I tell you what, anytime you have power play with guys that believe, it works. It works. And you think getting fired up, this isn't an act. I'm telling you right now, I get so agitated because I want fucking Sam Mustipher to be great. I want him to prove me wrong and go out there and fucking dominate. Just blow people off the ball with pride. I want Cole Kmet to be the fucking best tight end in the league, but you ain't going to do it turning a blind eye to truth. Well, that's a good player out there. Aaron Rodgers is going to kick our ass. That's shit. That's soft puppy shit analysis. It ain't going to I'll never change. I'll quit before I go down like that. That's why the Bears have lost who they are, because they're charging Richard Dent $5 to eat. How about you charge them $5 to miss a goddamn assignment? Miss an assignment, $5. Fuck a food. Start challenging these guys. God.
Oh, God.
Let's bring out our guest.
It's 100 Crew Hot Takes. Phil and Shane bringing on a fan to talk Bears and what just happened in the Bears game each and every week. You have to have hype.
Phil's always telling me to hype.
You can't be flat. So be ready, be prepared, and bring your passion.
I had hype coming out of my ass.
It's 100 Crew Hot Takes. Hashtag Spencer Strong.
Those are big time fucking throws.
Here he is.
Yo, what's up, guys? What up, man?
What's up,
Bears
Kobe?
won the game today, man, and I'm so happy. All I gotta say is this before I speak my piece. What did I tell you, national media? Freaking Chris Collinsworth, Dominique Foxworth, all you guys better show your face right now and say that the Bears are coming and we're gonna take the North and never give it back.
That's it. Where's Dominique now?
Where are you at, man?
Shane challenged him to come on this network. I'm certain. What's his name? What's his name? Little piss boy. What's his name?
Oh,
Shane knows. What's his name?
Collinsworth. I meant
yeah.
Cowherd.
No,
Colin Cowherd.
Not Cat. Who's the guy from the Chicago media talking shit to you, Shane? What's his name? He's
Cam.
Always a little Cam.
Cam
Ellis.
Right?
Cam, where you at, Cam?
Cam Ellis.
Where's
Adam
Cam
Johns.
at? I'm waiting
Where
for
y'all at?
Cam. More like Cam Newton sitting out. Let's bring Cam Ellis on the network. I'll confront Cam for everybody on that kind of ego mind that talks down to the fan. Anyway, listen, KO, big victory. The Bears turn it around. Ugly looking first half, ugly game, but ugly W's are just as good as pretty wives because they go on the scoreboard just the same. It doesn't matter how you look at it, how it appears. At the end of the day, the Chicago Bears are 1-0. San Francisco 49er fans could cry those tears. They could go anywhere they want with them, but at the end of the day,
talking crap. A lot
of smack talk before the game. But where are they at? Where are they
Nowhere
at?
to be found.
Kofi's fully prepared to take all that shit out. He's got the fucking wheelbarrow behind him and everything. He was gonna clean that shit right out.
He's in this fucking. He's in the garage, ready to talk to us, right?
Yeah, but we should enjoy this win. But at the same time, we got a lot to clean up. You know, Cole Kmet.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why he made that chip block on Nick Bosa because. When they were running I think they were running like a T formation play. They're running that running back play. Like when David Montgomery was going inside that little A gap, Like, what's his name? Nick Bosa was able to come in and make that tackle. You know what? You said what was right, man. Cole Kmet, if you want to be the best tight end, man, you better learn how to block, man, for real. Because we all want you to be the best. I was expecting, I did this in one of my videos, that Cole Kmet is going to have to be an X factor in with this Chicago Bears team, man. Like, a lot of what he uses in his offense is a lot of trips formation and a lot of tight end set. And I know with Justin Fields, like, he really loves his tight end. So Cole Kmet, you got to get your ass ready, man, and you got to get your pads ready, man, because if you're gonna keep playing like that, man, you're gonna be out of this team, man. We don't want no scrubs, man. This is the Chicago Bears, and we're a blue collar team, man. Like, we don't play that shit. You're 6'6", 260 pounds, man. You need to get up there, put your hands on their pads, man, and get up on the second level, man. For real.
I just want to see Cole do everything he should be doing. And that's an expert. He has the opportunity to turn it around. But there's a reason why Griffin is seeing first team reps, Shane. I mean, you saw him. He's in there on the I formation running that waggle. Obviously, he didn't continue through the catch. If you remember that one when Justin lobbed it up.
Yep. Yeah, it was right in the beginning of the game.
Yeah, 2 feet down. He's in the game over Kmet. Kmet's on the sideline. So this isn't hate. This is a culture, I hope, that you're seeing their tight ends coach, their receivers coach, their running back coach hold everybody accountable. Their offensive line coach better be holding people accountable. I don't agree with the rotation of guards. I don't even understand what they were benefiting for. I know someone mentioned to get in shape. I don't need them in shape. Football.
And speaking of the guards, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I didn't like the way they were rotating, like Lucas Patrick. You know, like I felt like
that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, I felt like they should have just sat him out, man, because you need what's his name to get all those reps. You need Tevin Jenkins to get all those reps, you know, because you got to build that confidence up, man. Because he was playing really well. I don't know why they took him out, but that was one thing I didn't agree on, you know, with that.
Yeah, we all don't get it. Obviously, the tape is going to tell us the story, and we'll be getting. If you're not a patron, go over to the tapeneverlies.com. Become a patron. There's going to be a lot of tape analysis, shows. Obviously, now the paints are coming. I always say the paint is the key. It's the tape is what I'm referring to. You got Cars Keys, me and my father on X's with the O's. Eric Kramer on Thursdays. We'll be breaking down some of Justin Fields' throws with him, with the tape. And then, of course, my video series will be on the patron side. If you're not a patron, go over there to tapeneverlies.com. We're breaking down the table. Why? What is going on with the offensive line? How did the tackles really play? Because so much attention is going on inside with the rotation and Sam Mustipher. How did Borum and how did the rookie? I know the rookie gave up a sack early on. Those things are critical and essential to this football team going into Green Bay next week. Thought Khalil Herbert showed up today, made the most of his opportunities, felt like a hot hand, and that's what you have to have in a rotation.
That cut on the goal line was impressive.
That was very impressive. Yeah, that cut. Yep.
You gotta like that. You gotta like that. Again, this is the first game in a downpour. Does anybody have a picture that Fox? Shane, I know you have the crooked picture of the line, but at the end of the game, the field was so bad it felt like it was going back to the 80s when the Fog Bowl.
I mean, you
Look
can
at
see
Justin Fields,
but you can see the water.
There's so much water
there. Yeah,
so much water. Yeah,
they didn't have a plumber there.
But my point is though, imagine what the former grass would have looked like under these conditions.
Oh, it would have looked like a war zone.
Yeah, it would have been really muddy as shit because it was already getting torn up.
It was getting torn up when it was sunny in 85.
Exactly.
Imagine it under these conditions. So
and it wasn't what's it called? It wasn't staying down the old turf.
No.
Thank you, Claudio. Here they had to put the computer had to mark down.
Yeah, my
the
son's like,
lines.
"What happened to your TV?" And I'm like, "No, that's what they
This
couldn't
looks
see
like
any of the."
it went back to the Atari 2600.
Yeah.
We were playing football. On the old
Tecmo
days.
Bowl.
There it is. The black line field over there.
Yeah,
That's
it looks
how
like a
bad
video
it is.
game.
But you see the Chicago Bears, the two things for me that I'm negative about, okay, is the offensive line. Obviously, I've been fired up with Cole Kmet and him being a more presence, just a consistent target. Get out of your break, make yourself available, and block those things. And obviously the kicker. I know Coach was talking about the kicking game, but I felt like that is a huge now question mark because we've lived through the Cody Parkey stuff. It just so happened that your former kicker, Robbie Gould, is out there. He's not having a problem knocking it through in the rain. He's not having that problem. So I won't ever give Cairo Santos. That first kick is just a shank. There was nothing wrong with the placement. There's nothing wrong whatsoever. He just shanks it. The second kick, I never got a replay of.
But you want
I don't know how he missed that second kick, that PAT. I'm like, bro,
I still don't get it either.
I don't get it. The first one, it was a shame, but the second one, you ain't got no excuse, bro. Like, you ain't got no excuse.
How far did that go? It went
Did you ever see a stop action of a guy kicking the ball, especially a soccer style kicker? His body is leaning this way. And what you have, if in that wet field like that, your foot could slide okay, because his body on that water. Now, I'm not making any excuses for him because this is what you got to do. You got to change your approach to the ball.
Danny Perez.
You can't do the same kick that is on a dry field. You almost have to kick it closer to the ball, like you're going to kick it like the old way.
Like with the toe.
Yes.
Straight on like that. So you keep your...
Almost, or take the angle a little less so you don't have to put that pressure of that foot in your angle.
Too much power on that foot, yeah.
That's a good coaching point.
The slipping of your down foot throws the ball off naturally.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got news for you. If Lushy Loin, if Santos isn't, or just a shitty kicker in the elements of water or whatever, Chicago doesn't have a dome yet, and Chicago plays in the elements. So you're gonna have to make these decisions now. You're 1-0. You went up against a very good football team, one of the best defenses out there.
They were number one last year.
They were playing hard too. And let me tell you, Hufanga is everything I thought he would be on tape and more.
Man, that kid is so good.
And obviously Bosa, one of my favorite players to come out of the draft was number 99 over there. And he was just fucking eating us up inside. So blog boys, statistician, fantasy gurus, all of that stuff. I'm not even looking at the stats of this game. I'm looking at the one stat that matters. That's the W. That is the W, right, Ivan?
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
there he is.
I eat them W's.
I eat them W's. All right, Jameis. Let's. No, what's up, KO? You're on fire today. Everybody seems to be liking what you're bringing to the chat.
Heck yeah, man! You already know I'm always on fire, bro.
TTNL for life, KO. You're a big fan of TTNL, right?
Yes, sir, man. It's been a while since I've been on here. I think it was like last year.
You came on one time before with my dad.
Yeah, I did. It was against the Bengals, I think. Was it last year?
Probably. I don't know. But let me tell you, I appreciate you jumping on with us, man.
No problem.
Do you want to send a shout out to anybody before we let you go?
I just want to shout out my brother-in-law, and I want to shout out a CG. I hope you put that egg over your head because I know you're talking smack. And you better say that Justin Fields is better than Trey Lance. That's all I gotta say.
I love you, man.
Go along with that.
I think Justin Fields is better than Trey Lance. I'll just keep that 100. Although I think Trey Lance will have a bright future I don't think he's a bust. I saw some things I liked about that kid today.
I did today too.
He's got a lot of
me
zip
with
in his throw too.
Yeah.
Like if you looked at some of his throws that he made, I was like, wow, man, that kid can throw.
That one third down run that he had.
Oh my
where he
God!
He
Quarterback draw.
Fought for the last 5 yards.
Draw, yeah.
That was no easy task.
Definitely tougher.
Definitely tougher. He reminded me a lot of Steve Air McNair out there. We'll see where it goes, but I'm not hating on him. But I really thought the second half, Justin Fields just played Justin Fields, and I think Coach Getsy's going to have to get into that soup, that recipe to find, and that's a part of what you were talking about, Dad. The first week, you're going to have to try to find your identity, find who your team is, and build off of that. And KO, Kofi, I appreciate you coming on. We love you here. You fans always speak. Every time we play these games in the afternoon, we're going to bring on 1 or 2 fans to join us here on TTNL, where
so
your fans don't
flood my DMs next week in prime time, because that shit's not happening.
But yeah, man, I just wanted to show love to you guys, and because I know you guys, are really great, man. Y'all are not like other Bears content creators, but I really appreciate it, man. You ever want me on? You want to do a collaboration or anything, man? You can always hit me up on Twitter or anything like that. But yeah, man, thank you for having me on, man. I appreciate it.
You're the man. Follow him on Twitter, KO Sports Talk,
and subscribe to my channel, KO Sports Talk too. Yeah,
there you go.
All right, guys, peace out.
God bless.
So I got to leave myself.
I know, Dad. You got a lot more football. You got dinner. You went to church yesterday.
He's going to check out those Mac Jones injury reports now.
Did Mac Jones get hurt today?
His back. Yeah, he hurt his back. Apparently, they wouldn't make him available to the media. They said he's got dealing with a back injury.
Oh my God!
So I don't know how serious it is, but
he played the whole game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
he got some shots.
He did.
They disguised their blitzing package.
Yep.
And when they saw the man go in motion, he was set and ready to call the protection was already called.
Yeah.
And the linebacker would drop down, and the tackle had to block the last man on the line of scrimmage. If he went for that guy, the end would get him.
Oh my
God!
God!
He did. He blocked the right guy, and here comes that linebacker, full throttle, hit him in the back. The ball went flying. That's how they got their first touchdown.
Mac Jones did finish it, but you guys have, any sport, it's true. Sometimes the adrenaline is flowing, and the next day is overnight, but you get in the locker room and sit down for a couple of minutes, and it can be a whole different ball game. But hopefully,
Dad,
he's good to go.
We love you.
Good luck, you guys.
We'll be you'll be live with me. You'll be live with me Saturday.
Yeah.
X's with the O. Morning. X's with the O's. Might be the afternoon, actually. Now that I think I'm coaching football with the young bucks, so it might be in the afternoon during that. Now that they moved games to Saturday,
late afternoon.
There you go. After Alabama games, right?
That's right.
Let's see you later, Coach. Oh, Kofi, all of it. Shane, we talked a lot.
Most importantly, a W.
A W.
Let's not overlook that, man. That's
what I'm saying. We talked a lot of negatives, and we are going to do that here. Shane, talk about that real quick.
Yeah, we have never been a network that is going to come out and the Bears won. Well, if they played bad football and not sound football and won, we're not just going to come out here and say, hey, it's all sunshine and rainbows, like we've said. It's never going to be like that here. And if you don't like the criticism, it's all about accountability. We've talked about it year in and year out. The Bears have a lot that they need to work on. Are you seriously going to sit here and tell me that you didn't see a lot of negatives out there today? Yeah, there was positives. We pointed them out. I heard us praise Eddie Jackson. I heard us praise Dominique Robinson. I heard us praise Justin Fields. Go down the list. Yeah.
Pettis.
Yeah, and Brisker coming back in the second half and playing better.
Second half. Kyler Gordon. I'm praising Khalil Herbert. I'm praising David Montgomery. Say what you want. Without him battling in there, I mean, where's there going to be the run? I'm looking at it. I'm like, what are you doing? And it's just punching away, chipping away at helping this football team move the football. I mean, when the tape comes back, there'll be stories that are told. And in the first half, you saw an opportunity for a big play. Khalil Herbert missed it. All he had to do was hit it to the left. It's a fucking counter play. They're pulling. It's gone. You're in the secondary. Maybe he scores. He missed it. He went to the right. He just missed it. The second half, do you go away from that? No. He builds off of it and makes a big touchdown. He made a great run earlier too in the second half, in the third quarter. So those things you build on. How do they build off of this stuff is going to be critical to what we see come playing your rivalry, playing the Green Bay Packers Sunday Night Football. And unfortunately, I don't know how you time. I'm already in a delay, so I can't time up. But not listening to Chris Collinsworth, for God's sake, because that is going to be you already have to play the Packers, but then you got to hear Chris Collinsworth talk about Aaron Rodgers like it's his fiance, for God's sake. And then Collinsworth's analysis alone, you're not John Madden, bro. You're not John. You're off. It's a chore watching this guy. Anyway.
Phil, real quick before we start to wrap up, I'm going to play this drop and then you can speak on it after.
Breaking news. The tape never lies. Network breaking news.
Who's that guy?
Brian Urlacher. Brian, first ballot Hall of Famer, former safety, New Mexico State.
Full head of hair.
Chicago Bear legend, captain. Brian Urlacher will be live with us on the best Bears show on the planet this Wednesday night. Looking back, he knows how to win ugly. I'll tell you that. What is he going to say about this first Bears win? All football with Brian Urlacher this Wednesday night, talking Chicago Bears W, the moves to Arlington Heights, what he thinks about Justin Fields. Keeping It 100 will be live this week with former Bears great Brian Urlacher. Nope!
This is NFL Network.
Hey, this is David Kaplan.
BX for the Bears.
Exactly, Greg.
Oh my God!
This is crazy.
I am in heaven!
If the dude's a fucking pussy.
Concept-wise, his run game doesn't match with his pass game.
This is Matt Waldman.
This is Olin Cruz.
This is Paige DeMacco, CEO of the Draft Network.
Rashid Davis, former Chicago Bears wide receiver.
Hey, my name's Rashawn Whitfield, the footwork king.
What's up, everybody? It's Ryan Nall here with the Chicago Bears.
Keeping it 100 with Shane and Phil.
Keeping it 100 with Phil and Shane.
You're listening to my guys Shane and Phil on
Keeping It 100.
Keeping It 100, Ivan will be live. Brian Urlacher.
Can't wait.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Props to our guys, our production team.
That dude right there.
AB, guys.
AB, what jersey are you wearing, AB?
I'm wearing a Bratcher jersey.
Oh, what number?
23, but it's Bratcher because I got tired of buying jerseys all the time.
Hey.
I have a 22
Phil
jersey too.
Phil and I told Bratcher, you got to go get us somebody from the Mount Rushmore of linebackers from the Chicago Bears, and we thought maybe Bratcher would take it upon himself to come back and bring us back Ricardo McDonald or something like that, because that's better, guys.
Jay McClellan, right?
Yeah,
give me a guard
or give me death. There you go.
Give me a guard or give me death, Mickey Mouse. Well, Bratcher stepped up big and bringing on the legend Brian Urlacher. It's going to be a ton of fun. Can't wait.
It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be a victory week here for TTNL as we kick off the start of our third season with you fans. If you're not
you getting it right,
yes,
feels like we're heading into year 6.
I've been doing this so long.
Day 797.
It's all smudging together like the Bears fucking line markers.
Bratcher was texting me at like 12:57 a.m. last night, and I literally couldn't even fucking see straight. I was so goddamn tired. I'm like, bro, I gotta go. I have no energy left.
I was so excited I couldn't sleep, man. I just couldn't. Great day.
We're not fucking with you, Seth. It's real.
Yes. Yeah. Brian Urlacher officially.
No flack,
Wednesday night. We will be there talking with him to kick off the show, and a bunch of stuff this week. Obviously, breaking down the tape, cars, keys, Thursday, all this Chicago Bear analysis with you, the fans. We always ask you, become a patron and support us, what we do. We don't go out there searching for advertisers and all this stuff. We put in a lot of hard work. And again, as Shane says, I think a lot of people forget Shane and I have full-time jobs. I wish this was just my job, because then it would be even greater and better. But I got a family and a daytime job. So this is the hustle of passion and love. And I think I know I get fired up even in a win, but I think it needs to be said one last time. We are not going to be hokey pokey. Let's turn around and put our fucking right foot in and left foot out and turn it all about. We don't do that shit here. We talk real football analysis, character, pride, all of that stuff on display to try to get this football team to a level of understanding of where they need to go to win the biggest games.
And Phil, real quick, Zach Pearson tweeted out in the locker room, really good stuff from kicker Cairo Santos today. Media was talking to Trenton Gill about Towelgate, I guess you could call it at this point.
Yeah.
And Cairo Santos actually came over and got in the middle of the media scrum and said that was completely his responsibility, not that of the punter. So not a lot of guys will step up to the plate like that and own it. And to Cairo, I'm giving him some props for doing that, because I mean that says a lot. I know you could see the look of befuddlement on Trenton Gill's face when he was walking off the field. I mean,
he's like,
doing the same 3 points in this game could have been the clincher. 2 extra points down. It's like, oh man, how many games have we been involved? Man, you just kick that fucking extra point, we win. We're right back in it. And luckily it didn't come back and bite the Bears in the ass. But
listen, I was right with you in all of my life in football. Like, it's been my whole life. This game is everything to me. And I'm the loyalist of loyal. I was a Walter Payton fan, and then I just couldn't root for any other team. My uncle coached the goddamn Cleveland Browns, and I'm in the locker room with Mickey Pruitt, Brian Sipe, and Chip Banks getting held up, and I'm worried about the Bears at 8 years old. That's the pride. That's what Shane has. That's what everybody on this network. So I don't care where you're from. It's where you're at. It ain't where you're from. It's where you're at. I think the great Rakim, by the way, probably 1 or 2 all time in rappers, in my opinion, MCs, had said that. It ain't where you're from. It's where you're at. Where are the Bears at? Number 1 right now, 1-0. And that's where you start. Ugly or not, the build goes from there. My father's 100% right. How this team looked today.
I have one more number for you if you want it.
Of course.
And that would be Minnesota 17, Green Bay 0.
There you go. There you go.
Love it.
Listen.
It's a perfect place to end it, Phil.
Let's wrap it up here. We'll go around. We got our producers here. Ivan Vargas _ TTNL. If you're listening on the podcast, and my guy AB, the director of audio, social media, video, all of these guys doing the hard work. We appreciate you guys. Alan, what's the thing you're going to take away real quick from the week 1?
And there's not an I don't give a fuck drop at BHL, Alan, so go ahead.
There will be. I'm going to take away. I'm going to say adjustments, Shane. I got to say adjustments. That first half, we all know how it looked. We all know what we saw. Were we happy about Lucas Patrick running in the game? No, I wasn't. I know you guys probably weren't either. I'm going to say adjustments and Justin Fields stepping up to the plate and delivering it when he needed to do it. That's what I saw the most. That and the fact that Khalil Herbert led the Bears in rushing today. And no, I don't think he's better, guys. No, that's an outlier day. That's all it is.
Yes, I've always just broken Bratcher's chops on that. I don't know why I'm hearing my echo.
Yeah, we got an echo.
Yeah, it's me. I keep going. That's why I keep muting my mic.
Oh, okay. Anyway, I love you, Ivan, for that. And great points there. Ivan, you, Shane, and then I'll wrap it up and we'll put a pretty bow on this first W. What do you think, Ivan?
Yeah, I agree with Alan. Adjustments. The defense was flying around. Like you saw the point of emphasis on conditioning and running to the football. You saw the Bears not only stick with the Niners, but I think outlast the Niners there at the end. And then honestly, Justin Fields, like Alan said, I think Justin made that play to Pettis. Like if Justin doesn't escape that pocket, the play's not fucking there. So Justin Fields, and I would say the adjustments are the biggest things. I loved how the defense played, though.
Great stuff, man. And it's week 1, first week of year 3 of TTNL. I'm super proud to have both of you on this team as we head into this season 2022. As Ron G put, the new era of Chicago Bear football. Real quick before I give it to Shane to wrap his thought, Alan, is there an update with podcast?
So as soon as we get the email situation figured out, now we're able to go on Spotify and Anchor right now. They will be on tomorrow morning. I'm going to try to get them on tonight, but we want to get a couple other ones. We're working on Amazon Music. We're working on Google Podcasts as well as Apple.
There you go.
Yeah, there's been a little snafu that's kind of out of our control, but
little hiccup
from our.
I wanted to give the fans
he will have Spotify. 100%.
Yeah, the non-patron shows will be coming back to the podcast versions for people. The patron only shows will still continue to be patron only in form of a podcast if they want that, and it'll be posted over at thetapeneverlies.com. But
so all of you asking, Shane, just wrapping up, pass to you. Podcast
number 1
will be back.
We are in the middle of it, and we're not across the goal line, but we're at the 4, and Khalil Herbert's raining down like a motherfucker. Getting ready to score a touchdown.
You just got to make that cutback, Shane.
Yeah, right, exactly. But my biggest takeaway today is I go back to the day that Eberflus was brought here. Number 1 over and over again was hits. That's who we are. That's what we will be. And that's the way that we'll be built. And you saw it on display today. I saw guys rallying to the football on Eddie Jackson's pick. He dove, caught it, got up. You saw those guys break out. Everybody had a fucking job. They weren't trying to get 20 yards. They were trying to get him into the end zone. That to me preaches and shows that when this head coach is talking, these guys have bought in. And I'll tell you what, I wanted to talk to your dad about this, Phil, before he left, but didn't get a chance to. When you're a young team that has got a fight, scratch, and claw for everything. When you buy into something like that, that ends up making you a better football player initially than what you really are. And you see what's going on in Green Bay here. This is different. Like Cars texted me at the end of the game. He's like, I already know what you're doing. You were waiting for the letdown after the Bears came back. And I'm like, yeah, you're goddamn right I was, because that's what the Bears do. That's what they do. You know, before the Bears are up by 9, they're going to give up a 77-yard touchdown over the top, and there's going to be 17 seconds off the clock, and then followed up by a 3-and-out, and they get the ball back. This feels different to me. I think you have complete buy-in. Justin Fields will be better next week. This offensive line will be better next week. Demo will be better next week. All of these guys will be better. I hear everything that I want to hear from Flus. Accountability. We're going to have a session on Wednesday with these guys, 15, 20 minutes, where we're going to be working on what they need to be, working on. And that those little things matter. Dan Pompey was quick to tweet out, maybe Matt Nagy wasn't at fault when the Bears were playing like shit in the first half. And I'm like, wow, want to pull off the blinders if that's, what you're coming away with. I know we were just as guilty talking about it, but there's buy-in here. There was never buy-in to the BU because it was Club Med, like you brought up, Phil. This is a different philosophy. It's a proven philosophy, and I think you're going to see it 16 more games in Chicago, and I think that arrow is going to be going up each and every week.
So well fucking said, man. So well said. I'll just reiterate one thing. Winning isn't anything. It's the only thing. And when you have a culture that's built, to Shane's point, on hustle, on facts of expectation, if you're a rookie or a veteran and you're floating in the water, that's the lifeboat over there. You know exactly. If you're in the Navy, you know where it is. You know, if you're in the Army, you know where it is. You know the expectation. So you got to get there. You got to do it for your brother. And if you're not, you either shit or get off the pot, because this team is built by a guy that understands the very root and foundation of winning is in conditioning and pride. Because I'll always go back to my dad and his coach, my uncle as well. The 10% rule. The 10% rule. In the NFL, they're all fucking talented. We throw around these labels and we're all guilty of it, including myself. This guy sucks. This guy sucks. This guy, you know what sucks? Seeing someone fucking loaf. That sucks. That's on me as the head coach that I accept that on film. And it was over and over and over. Now it's not there. To Alan's point, to Shane and to Ivan's, you saw the discipline from everyone. And my game ball going out, I'm probably ruining, is Eddie Jackson. Because that play is the quintessential growth of a veteran embracing. He was the guy I was so concerned about, Shane, embracing this culture. But the fact that he has, it's going to be huge for the Chicago Bears going forward. For all, you have some audio or something?
Yeah. No, Ryan Cox just shared a tweet, and somebody at the tailgate at the Patriots game left their grill on, and there's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars that are totally burnt out and completely destroyed in the parking lot. Yeah.
Fucking better have Geico.
Yeah.
You know what? Can we get them as a sponsor, please?
What?
Listen, pure bliss today.
Pure bliss.
That's right. Pure bliss today. The Chicago Bears are 1-0, Cap.
Hey, boys. Like my sweatshirt? The tape never lies.
Yes, we're one game closer.
One game closer to Gibson's.
To Gibson's. And let's keep it rolling. We'll be back. BHL, the best Bears post-game show, bar none.
Prime time next week.
Prime time.
Well, late time next week.
Green Bay versus Chicago. For my guys, Ivan Vargas, my guy Alan Bratcher, and my bestie over there, Shane Marcel. I'm your guy, Draft Dr. Phil. The Bears, grit, determination, ugly. The swamp dive at Soldier occurred, and the Bears are 1-0. We'll see you on Keeping It 100 with Brian Urlacher and everything else we got planned for you this week. Subscribe, become a patron, and show us some love. Become a subscriber to the YouTube and Facebook channels. We'll see you next week on BHL.
Thank you for watching Bears Hour Live, the best post-Bears game show on the planet, on the Tape Never Lies Network.